It was a quiet night in the forest. The wind was soft, and the stars were bright. But then, the sky broke open. A strange light flew across the sky like fire. It was fast, loud, and glowing blue. Birds flew away. Dogs barked, and then boom. Something crashed deep inside the woods. Nearby villagers came out of their homes. Some pointed at the sky. Some ran towards the sound. But no one was ready for what they would find. Deep in the forest, smoke rose between the trees. Something big had fallen. Metal pieces were everywhere. The ground was burning. Trees were broken. In the middle of the crash, there was a strange pod. It was glowing. It was alive. Inside the pod, a woman opened her eyes. She looked human, but something was different. Her skin was smooth, like glass. Her eyes were silver. Her hair flowed like liquid. She was not from Earth. Her name was Zara. Zara slowly stepped out of the pod. Her legs were weak. She looked around. Everything was new. The air smelled strange. The sounds were soft but scary. She touched a tree and whispered, "Not my world." She couldn't remember how she got here. She only remembered running, escaping. A voice calling her to leave. Then, silence. She pressed a small button on her wrist. Nothing happened. No signal. She said to herself. Her ship was broken. She was truly alone. For 2 days, Zara stayed hidden near the crash site. She watched from behind trees. She saw human soldiers, police, and strange men in black suits. They took parts of her ship. They did not find her. Not yet. Zara felt weak. Her body was changing. Her stomach hurt. Her heartbeat was strange. She didn't understand why. On the 3rd day, she walked away from the crash site. She found an old wooden cabin in the forest. No one lived there anymore. Dust was everywhere. But it was dry and safe. She decided to stay. Inside the cabin, Zara looked at herself in the mirror. She touched her stomach. Something was moving. No, this can't be. Zara had never been with anyone. She had never mated. Her species didn't reproduce like humans. It took science. It took permission. But now, she was pregnant, and she didn't know how. Each night, she had dreams. Strange dreams. A man with brown eyes. A voice saying her name. A warm hand touching hers. She woke up crying, but didn't know why. Was the dream real? Was he the reason? Zara tried to scan herself with a small tool from her suit. The result made her drop the device. The child inside her was not fully alien, half human, half something else. She wasn't just stranded. She was part of something bigger. That night, while she slept, something moved in the forest. A dark shadow. Tall, fast, not human, not friendly. It followed her scent. It whispered her name in a voice full of anger. Zara. The thing had claws, sharp and black. It had no eyes, but it could smell fear. It had one job: find the traitor and end the child. Back inside the cabin, Zara felt cold. She looked outside, but saw nothing. Still, something inside her knew. She was being hunted. She touched her belly. "I will protect you," she whispered. Suddenly, her skin glowed. A soft blue light from under her veins. It was not pain, it was power. Something was waking inside her, something not hers. And far away, in a small town nearby, a man named Ethan woke from his sleep. He had dreamed of her again. He held his chest. His heart was racing. "I have to find her," he said. But he didn't know why, and neither did Zara. The air around the cabin had gone still. Even the insects had stopped singing. Zara stood at the window, staring into the dark trees. The wind did not move. The night felt heavy, like it was watching her. She wasn't alone. Something was out there, something not human. She placed a hand over her stomach. The strange energy inside her baby pulsed again. Warm, glowing, silent, like it was warning her. Suddenly, she heard a sound outside. Not a bird, not a branch. It was soft, wet, like breath on glass. Zara didn't move. She didn't blink. Then, something whispered her name from the shadows. Zaara. She spun around, heart racing. The sound was gone. For the past 2 days, Zara had been hiding in the old cabin. It was broken and dusty, but safe. She had found old clothes, wrapped herself in a blanket, and tried to understand her changing body. But now, she didn't need a scanner to tell her something was wrong. The child inside her was growing fast. Too fast. It was not just a baby. It was something more. Elsewhere, in a small town not far away, Ethan sat up in bed, gasping for air. He had seen her again, the silver-eyed woman from his dreams. In the dream, she had been screaming his name. But in real life, he didn't know anyone named Zara. He stood, walked to the window, and looked toward the forest. I don't know why, he whispered to himself, but I have to go there. Back in the forest, the creature hunting Zara had no name, no eyes, no soul. It was created to track and destroy. A hunter-class sentinel, built by her own people. Built for one reason: kill the traitor. Erase the hybrid. It followed her scent, not just her alien scent, but something new, something human. It moved fast. Trees bent out of its way. Its skin absorbed light. Its claws could tear steel. And now, it was close. Very close. Inside the cabin, Zara picked up her wrist device. She had spent hours fixing it. Now, it blinked. One signal detected. But it wasn't friendly. It was the hunter. She closed her eyes, breathing fast. She had no weapons, no backup, no way home. But she did have something else. Powered Zara, single quotes, his fingers, began to glow faintly. Her energy was awakening. Not just alien, not just human, something in between. I don't want to fight, she whispered. But I will. Then, a sudden noise outside. A low growl. The door creaked. The hunter was here. Zara held her breath. The door didn't open, but the walls began to shake. The creature was circling the cabin, testing her fear, feeding off her silence. Zara backed away from the door. Her body glowed softly again. Her heartbeat was syncing with the baby's. Then suddenly, a blinding white light flashed through the trees. The creature hissed and disappeared into the woods. Zara dropped to the floor, heart pounding. The light had come from a car, a human car. The door burst open. A man stood there, breathing hard. It was him, Ethan. From the dream, but he was real. And he looked just as shocked to see her. You're her, he said, almost in fear. You saw me, she asked. He nodded. In dreams. Since the crash. Zara stared at him, confused, scared, but somehow safe. Why did you come? She asked. I don't know, he replied, but something told me. You're in danger. Zara stepped forward slowly. She touched his hand, and in that second time stopped. A vision flashed in both their minds. A burning sky, a screaming child, a war, and the two of them, standing, side by side, fighting something neither could name. Then, silence. They pulled back, eyes wide. You saw it too, Zara whispered. Ethan nodded. What is this? I don't know, she said, but we don't have much time. Outside, the forest had gone quiet again, but the danger had not passed. It had only just begun. He had never touched her in real life, but he remembered the feel of her hand. Ethan sat in his truck, staring at the woman beside him. Zara. She was real now, breathing, alive, but still. She felt like a memory. They drove in silence, away from the cabin, away from the creature that had almost found her. Zara was quiet too. She watched him from the corner of her eye. She didn't know if she should trust him, but something inside her, already did. The dreams had brought them together. Dreams that felt too real. Dreams that whispered secrets neither of them understood. Earlier that night, when Zara had touched Ethan's hand, time had frozen for just a second. But in that second, a flood of images had entered their minds. A burning city, a baby crying in a hidden lab. Zara, glowing with power. Ethan, standing between her and a wall of soldiers. A voice saying, the child must not fall into their hands. Then it all vanished. Like smoke, both of them had pulled away, shaking, breathless. Zara had asked, did you see that? Ethan had only nodded. His world had just changed forever. Now, as they drove, Ethan finally spoke. You're not from here, are you? Zara looked down at her hands, then at the stars outside the window. No, I am from a system far beyond yours. My people never wanted to come to Earth, but I had no choice. Ethan frowned. And the baby. She stayed silent for a long time. Then, I didn't choose that either. It just happened. But I feel it growing. Faster than it should. Ethan glanced at her, curious. Then maybe that's why we've been dreaming about each other. Zara looked at him. You're connected to this somehow, but I don't know how or why. Back at Ethan's house, he took her to his home on the edge of town. It was quiet, small, safe. No one would look for her here, not yet. Zara looked at the photos on his wall. Pictures of a young Ethan, of an older man in uniform. Your father, she asked. He worked for the government, Ethan said. A scientist. Always secret. Always serious. After he died, I found something strange in his basement. He walked over and opened a small metal box. Inside was an old black notebook. He handed it to Zara. She opened it and froze. The pages were filled with alien symbols, her language. She looked at him, stunned. Where did he get this? I don't know, Ethan said. But he wrote this on the last page. Zara read aloud. If contact is made, protect her. She carries the key. Her hands began to tremble. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Zara turned quickly. They've found us. Ethan grabbed the notebook. I don't know if it's the humans. Or something worse, Zara whispered. They moved to the back of the house. Outside, 2 black cars rolled into the street. No lights, no sound. Zara grabbed Ethan's arm. You have to trust me. We can't fight them. What do? We run. But not for long. Soon, we'll have to stop hiding. Ethan looked into her glowing silver eyes. Then I'm with you. As they slipped out the back door, Zara paused and looked at the stars again. Somewhere out there, her people were watching. Some wanted her dead. Some wanted the child. But no one, not even her, knew what the baby would become. Not yet. The baby inside her was no longer silent. Zara felt it moving. Not just with kicks or turns, but with purpose. It was communicating. It was awake. She stood in the mirror of a dark motel bathroom, cold water running over her hands. Her reflection looked tired, older, stronger. A soft light pulsed under her skin, just above her stomach. Who are you? She whispered, not to herself, but to the child. And for the first time, something answered. A single word echoed in her mind. Safe. Zara stepped back, shaken. The baby could think. It could feel her emotions. And now, it was trying to calm her. But how? Elsewhere in the room, Ethan was sitting on the bed, flipping through the alien notebook again. His father had written page after page in symbols he never understood. Now, with Zara's help, the pieces were coming together. This isn't just about you, Ethan said slowly. It's about Earth. About all of us. Zara nodded. The baby I carry. It's not normal. Not just alien. Not just human. It's something new. She sat down beside him, eyes heavy. On my world, babies are made in labs, watched, controlled. But this child wasn't made. It was created. Naturally. Ethan looked confused. Isn't that a good thing? Zara shook her head. To my people, it's dangerous. Flashback begins. Zara's mind drifted into a memory. She was in a glowing white lab, her body strapped to a chair. Alien scientists whispered behind glass walls. Her stomach was flat. Her mind was being scanned. Then, blackness. She woke up in the crashed pod. No memory of what happened in between. Only a child, now growing inside her, faster than time allowed, back in present. Zara looked at Ethan. I think they used me. For something secret, something forbidden. But the child, it didn't follow the rules. Ethan stood up. Then maybe that's why they're hunting you. She nodded slowly. Yes. To them, my baby is a threat. To Earth, it might be a miracle. Suddenly, Zara cried out in pain. Ethan rushed to her side. What is it? She gasped. It's showing me something. Her eyes turned white for a moment. Then her voice changed, calm, clear, and not her own. The child must be born. Before the gate opens. If not, both worlds will burn. Then her eyes returned to normal. She looked terrified. What gate? Ethan asked. Zara whispered. I don't know. Scene shift. The hidden lab. Later that night, they followed a map from the notebook to a secret underground facility in the forest, a place Ethan's father had once worked. The walls were covered in dust, machines were long dead. But in the back, they found a sealed door. Zara placed her hand on it. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, files, screens, and one large metal chamber, still glowing. Zara moved to a computer. It flickered to life. A video started playing. It was her. Strapped down, eyes open in fear. Scientists spoke. Subject Z17 responds well to DNA merging. Human code accepted. Fetal growth began 3 hours after exposure. Zara's face went pale. They had used her for an experiment. They had made the child. Using something human. Ethan watched the screen in shock. They made you pregnant. Without your permission, Zara nodded. And they thought I'd never survive the crash. Suddenly, the screen glitched. A warning appeared. Warning. Sentinel incoming. Location detected. Ethan grabbed the files. We have to go now. But Zara stood still. No more running, she said. Her body began to glow brighter. The child inside her was reacting. He's coming, she whispered. The hunter, and others. Ethan held her hand. Then we faced them. Together. Outside, in the dark woods, shadows moved again. But, this time, they weren't alone. Something else had arrived. Something watching them both. The baby knew before she did. Zara stood in the empty hallway of the underground lab, her body glowing faintly. She felt a chill, not from the cold, but from the truth rising inside her. Something was wrong. The child inside her pulsed again, this time with fear. Not from the hunter outside, but from someone close. Behind her, Ethan stepped into the room, holding more files. I found something, he said. But you're not going to like it. Zara didn't turn around. Her voice was calm. Tell me, what were you before this? Before we met? Ethan hesitated. Zara finally turned, her silver eyes locked with his dot. The child inside her had already told her the answer. Hours earlier, they had escaped the lab after the warning appeared. Now, hiding in an old shelter deep in the woods, Zara read the files they took. Government, documents, experiments, missions, and then she found a photo. It was Ethan, not as a child, but as an adult, standing next to men in black suits, wearing a badge with a strange symbol. Smiling, Zara's heart froze. He had worked for the people who made her pregnant. Back in the present, Ethan stepped closer. My father didn't just study aliens, he said. He helped create a contact program, and I was part of it. Zara took a step back. You knew about me before I crashed. He looked down. Yes, but only pieces. Your ship wasn't the first. You weren't the first. She stared at him, betrayed. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't come to hurt you, he said. I came because I felt you in my dreams. Before I even knew your name. Zara's voice cracked. They used me, Ethan. They made me carry this child. And you were part of them. No, he said, voice rising. I left them. I didn't know what they did until I met you. I swear it. Zara turned away, unsure of what to believe. Suddenly, ... The building shook. A loud screech echoed from the forest outside. The hunter had returned. But this time, he wasn't alone. Through the cracked window, dark shapes moved between the trees. Soldiers, government agents, and something worse. A second hunter. Larger, more advanced. Zara stood tall. Her body glowed brighter now, light pulsing through her arms. She looked at Ethan. You brought them here, didn't you? He shook his head. No, I swear, I didn't call them, but her trust was fading. The baby inside her trembled again, warning her outside. Commander Brandt of the Human-Alien Joint Unit stood in the clearing. His men surrounded the shelter. The hunter stood beside him like a loyal dog. Zara, he called through a speaker. We don't want to hurt you, but we need the child. Inside, Zara flinched. Ethan shouted, they'll kill you both. You can't trust them. She looked at him. I'm not sure I can trust you either. The baby moved again, this time with power. Zara felt her feet lift slightly off the ground. Her skin turned golden. The child inside was protecting her, even now. And then, the voice returned. He lied, but he loves you. He is changing. Zara blinked. It was the child speaking again, showing her a vision of Ethan standing between her and a bullet. He would save her, even if he failed her once. Zara turned to Ethan. I believe you. For now, she held out her hand. If we run, they'll follow. If we stay, they'll take the baby. Ethan nodded. Then we do what they never expected. Zara smiled faintly. We fight back. Final scene. The choice outside. The soldiers moved in. Zara stepped into the open, glowing like a star in human form. Ethan stood beside her, holding the last piece of his father's notebook, a page labeled The Child's Power. Commander Brandt raised a hand. Don't do this. Zara lifted hers. I already did. The earth shook. The hunter screamed, and the sky above them cracked open. It started with a sound no human had ever heard. Not thunder, not wind. It was a deep hum from the sky, like metal breathing, slow, heavy, alive. Everyone looked up. The clouds split open, not by light, but by shadows. Something was coming down. Not a ship, not just one, but many. They weren't from Zara's world. They weren't from any world she knew. Ethan stepped forward, stunned. What are they? Zara's voice shook. Something older than us. Something ancient. The baby inside her kicked hard. It was afraid. So was she. Hours before. After the explosion outside the shelter, the hunter had vanished. Taken by the light Zara released. The soldiers had fallen back, shocked by what she had become. Zara's skin had glowed. Her eyes had turned golden. The child inside her had shown its true power. For a moment, she felt strong. But power has a cost. She collapsed in Ethan's arms. Her energy drained. They ran. Again now, hiding in the mountains. They watched as strange lights blinked in the night sky. Not stars. Not satellites. Warnings. Zara sat on the edge of a cliff, looking at the dark horizon. Your world will soon change, she said. Ethan sat beside her. Because of the baby, she nodded. The child's energy didn't just light the sky. It sent a signal, a very old one. To who? She hesitated. To the ones who came before us. The ones who created the first life in the galaxy. The ones my people were afraid to wake. Flashback. A hidden truth. Zara remembered an old tale, told in secret on her planet. A long time ago, a race of ancient builders made life on many planets. They left behind weapons and gates to other dimensions. No one knew where they went. Her baby somehow carried part of that energy, and now those ancient forces had noticed. Present time. Skyfall back in the town. People screamed as the sky darkened. Massive shapes moved through the clouds. Black ships with no windows, no noise. They floated like ghosts, casting shadows over cities, forests, oceans. The news showed panic. Governments locked down. Military forces disappeared. The invaders weren't attacking yet. They were waiting. Zara watched it all on a dusty TV in an abandoned cabin. She stood in silence. Ethan stepped in, holding a radio. They're calling them the Skyborn. They're not answering calls, not responding, just watching. Zara looked down at her stomach. They're not here for war. Not yet. They're here for him, she said. The baby. No, she whispered the key. Suddenly, the door burst open. An old man walked in, holding a broken alien gun. It was Dr. Isaac Wynn, Ethan's father's best friend. You don't know what you've started, he said. Ethan stepped back. How do you know her? I worked with your father, Wynn said. We warned them not to activate the hybrid. The moment she used the child's power, the old code went live. Zara frowned. What code? Wynn opened his notebook. Your baby's energy carries the DNA signature of a world gate. That means, Zara interrupted, voice trembling. That means, they think the baby can open it. Wynn nodded. And if the gate opens, whatever is on the other side comes through. Ethan clenched his fists. Then we don't let them take him. Zara placed a hand on her stomach. No, we let them come. And then we show them that this child is not a key to destroy. She stood up, glowing once more. He's a key to something new. Final scene. The first attack sirens echoed in the valley. One of the Skyborn ships moved down, slowly, quietly. Then a single beam of light struck the ground. The earth cracked. Trees vaporized. A whole village vanished in 1 second. Zara didn't blink. Ethan grabbed her hand. What? Now, Zara looked at the sky. Now, we stop running. The child inside her moved, but this time, not in fear, in readiness. The world was ending. And she was in labor. Zara lay on the floor of a dark mountain cave. Outside, the sky burned red. The air shook with the sound of warships. Lightning fell, not from clouds, but from machines. She screamed, not in fear, but in pain. And empowered. Ethan held her hand tightly. His shirt was stained with blood and dust, but his voice stayed calm. You're going to be okay, he whispered. You're strong. Stronger than any of them. Zara's eyes glowed gold. No, I'm not strong, she said, breathing hard. But he is. She looked down at her belly. The child inside her was ready. Outside the cave, the Skyborn ships hovered silently over Earth's surface. They didn't fire again. They waited. For the gate, and only the child could open it. Around the world, people stared at the skies. Cities had gone dark. Planes stopped flying. Radios played nothing but silence. The earth was holding its breath. Back in the cave, Zara's body shook. Her vision blurred, but deep inside, she felt something beautiful. The child was not afraid. The child was calm. And then, a light burst from her chest. Not fire. Not energy. A memory. Flash vision. A future not yet real. Zara stood on a green field. Her child, now grown, stood beside her. Human and alien leaders shook hands under a glowing sky. Machines healed, weapons rusted, and people of both worlds lived side by side. The baby was smiling. Then, the vision vanished. Back in the cave, Zara cried out one final time, and the baby was born. The child arrives. It didn't cry. It opened its eyes, and the world changed. A wave of energy moved across the sky, invisible, but powerful. All around Earth, the skyborne ships froze in place. Then, one by one, they turned around and left. No war, no words, just silence. Ethan held the baby, shaking. He's not just alive, he said softly. He's speaking to them, all of them. Zara was weak, but awake. She smiled. He told them, we don't want to fight. That there's still hope. Ethan looked down at the baby. It looked human, but its eyes were silver, and its heartbeat was not alone. The child's presence was like a signal tower, calming fear, stopping violence. It had spoken to machines, to minds, to worlds. Hours later, the sky cleared. The news returned. The sun rose. People whispered about a miracle, how the ships left without a shot. No one could explain it, but far from cities and questions, Zara and Ethan sat under the open sky. Their baby lay between them, quiet, glowing softly. What will we name him? Ethan asked. Zara looked at the stars. Something simple, she said. Something strong. She whispered a word from her language, Rayon. It means light that speaks. Ethan smiled. Perfect. Final moments as the family sat in silence. The baby opened his eyes again and whispered a single word. Not to them, not in English, but into the sky. A message only the stars could hear. I am here.